Welcome to another edition of Green is Good. This is the Green Festival edition in beautiful Washington, D.C. And we're so excited. We've got Jackson Madnick with us. He's the CEO of Pearls Premium. Welcome to Green is Good.
Welcome, and thank you so much.
Oh, sure, Jackson. And this is the first time ever you've brought one of your guests with you. You brought your dog, Zoe.
Right. Zoe is our spokes dog and one of our biggest fans, and why we created this grass seed.
Well, I love it. Well, we're going to talk about Zoe in a little bit. Let's first start with Pearls Premium. What is Pearls Premium, and when did you start Pearls Premium, Jackson?
Well, I'm on my third career. I used to be a cameraman and reporter for CBS News, and then I produced major environmental shows all over the country in stadiums, parks, and on rivers that had to do with the environment, energy, hope, vision, harmony, world peace. And my biggest event is I designed the grand finale for the United Nations Earth Summit in Rio. That was televised worldwide to 500 million people.
Oh. And then when did you come up with the idea for Pearls Premium, and when did you start that?
After doing 17 years of producing major events all over the country, I thought I'd take a little time off to figure out what I was going to do when I grew up. And I renovated a little fixer-upper house in Wayland, Mass, and to be 90% heated, cooled, and powered by the sun and the earth. And while I was renovating my house, someone came by and talked me into joining the local Surface Water Quality Committee that takes care of all the lakes and ponds in our community. And I took a weekend crash course in lake and pond management, and I found out that the number one enemy of lakes, ponds, rivers, and the ocean is lawn care fertilizer. When people put chemical fertilizer on their lawns, if the irrigation goes on or rains that day, it washes off the lawn onto the hard surface, down the street, into the storm drain, and it doesn't disappear. It ends up in the local lake, pond, river, or the ocean. And so when people are fertilizing their lawns, actually 80% of it fertilizes the lakes and ponds just to grow the invasive weeds out of control. And then we tested our drinking water in our community, and we found that there were low levels of lawn care fertilizer, lawn care pesticides, and the herbicides that we were using to get rid of the invasive weeds in the pond caused by the lawn care fertilizer. So I did some research, and I found out there was no such thing as a low maintenance grass in the world. And so I wanted to create a low maintenance grass that didn't need chemicals, needed less water, that was more sustainable and healthier. So did a little research, found out who were the 4 smartest PhDs on the planet in turf science, and then I engaged them to create a new lawn grass. I thought it would take a year or two, but it actually took 8 years, almost $1 million of research.
Wow.
And
when did it launch? When did you launch this?
Well, we had something in the fall of 2009, and we've been selling it for 4 years now, and this is our 5th year, and we're in about 300,000 lawns all across the country.
Wow. How many stores are selling your product?
I'm not sure. About 300 stores right now.
300 stores. And for our listeners and our viewers out there, to find Jackson's great product, they can go to www.pearlspremium.com. Pearlspremium.com. Is there a zip code locator in that? They can find the stores locally in their area, or not yet?
Yes, yeah, there is.
That's great.
And right now it's available at all the Whole Foods supermarkets in New England.
That's great.
And at 135 Costco stores across the country that may be sold out within 2 weeks. So if you want this, you have to go to a local Costco and see if they still have it.
And they buy it on your website as well?
They can buy it all year long on our website.
On the website. So tell our listeners and our viewers why your grass is better than any other grass they can put in for their lawn.
Well, it has a number of interesting properties. First of all, it's based on seeds that were here before the American Indians. It's native grass, and it has a couple seeds that are adapted, been here in the United States for over 100 years, adapted to our climate. But it's these particular seeds growing in very exact proportions that interact to create 2 phenomena. One is that it grows 12 to 14 inch deep roots. Most grass is only 2 or 3 inch roots. And then also the other interactive phenomena of our grasses and our proportions is slows down the rate of the grass. So you only have to mow it once every 4 to 6 weeks instead of every week. And if you don't mow it, it leans over to become a no-mow lawn, only 3 inches high.
Whoa, and how about water? Less water than normal grass?
Because of the slow growth and the 12 to 14 inch roots, it needs 1/4 of the water of any other grass on the planet, and it looks better during a drought with no water.
So basically, if a person doesn't want to go xeriscape,
Yeah,
this is the type of grass they should be putting into their lawn instead of just a traditional grass, right?
absolutely. People call it the non-grass grass. They call it the holy grail of grass. They call it miracle grass.
Can you show what it looks like to our viewers out there?
This is what our grass looks like in Atlanta 2 years ago when they had the hottest drought in history, more days of over 100 degrees. And this is a green lawn. And the police used to go by and knock on their green front door here and say, want to write them a $200 ticket because they had the only green lawn in the neighborhood during a water ban.
Wow.
They thought they were sneaking and watering in the middle of the night.
Right. Wow.
And it also, besides it growing very dark and green, it outcompetes weeds. This picture here shows on the right our grass, and on the left, chuck full of weeds. And our grass outcompetes weeds, outcompetes other grass.
Have any sports venues started adopting the use of your grass yet?
Not yet. You can use it in 95% of the grass in the country. It's only places that they have cleats on their shoes. It beats it up. It's a very soft grass.
I got
so
you.
it can't take cleats. It can't take sports field, but good for everything else.
Wow, that's amazing. So this is really the most sustainable or the greenest grass someone could put into their lawn.
Yeah, it's the greenest grass in the world.
Wow.
And it's the only grass that gets LEED credits, if you know what LEED is.
Yeah.
And this is a LEED house in New England.
Beautiful.
And it's on Cape Cod where it had very sandy soil. They never had grass before because the water drains right through. But because this needs 1/4 of the water of other grass, it can grow in any condition and in sandy soil.
Are you selling this just in the United States right now, or is this Canada and around the world as well?
We're in about 300,000 lawns all over North America.
Wow.
And Canada, and in about a dozen foreign countries.
Tell us about Zoe a little bit. How did Zoe become your spokesdog?
Well, I've always had rescue dogs, and where we visit military and children's hospitals to cheer up patients. And I got Zoe. Zoe rescued me. I rescued Zoe, and we visit military children's hospitals, as I mentioned. And she just became our dog. Part of the reason I developed the grass was to protect ponds, protect children from the risk of chemical fertilizer, but also to protect dogs. It turns out that dogs are at 4 times at risk of cancer if you use chemicals on the lawn.
Well, let's slow this down, Jackson, because this is an important point that I hadn't thought of. You're saying that if we have listeners and viewers out there that own pets,
Yes.
this is the type of grass they should be using, because traditional grass has opportunity to poison their pets.
Absolutely. And
Wow.
what it turns out that lawn care chemical fertilizer stings the pads of their feet. So they go inside, they're sitting in the corner, and they're licking the stuff off their feet to get rid of the stinging sensation, and they're ingesting chemical fertilizer. And according to Dr. Roman in New England, who's a pet veterinarian authority, she says that dogs who experience chemical fertilizer are at 4 to 7 times the risk of cancer.
Whoa.
And
That's never even discussed in the media.
and Dr. Alex Liu is the head of toxicology for the Harvard School of Public Health.
Wow.
He says that up to 40% of all the cancers and many of the sicknesses are caused by toxins in our environment. And the number 1 toxin in our environment is lawn care fertilizer.
Wow.
So it actually has been linked to learning and behavioral disorders for children, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, sexual dysfunction, cancer, and leukemia. And so if you can eliminate lawn care fertilizer, that you're
Which is
lowering
what
the
your
risk.
product does.
Yes, you never ever need chemical fertilizer with that
So
grass.
this is called the ultra low maintenance
Lawn seed.
Lawn seed.
And it also sequesters carbon. It lessens, because of the 12-inch deep roots and the density of the grass, it absorbs 2 tons of carbon per acre per year.
Wow.
So that's 4 times the amount of carbon compared to other grass. So it actually can help put a dent in global warming and climate change.
Well, Jackson, this is the type of grass that everyone should be using. It's obvious then. Thank you for coming on our show. Thank you for bringing Zoe on. It's Jackson Madnick. He's the CEO and founder of Pearls Premium. To find where you can buy Pearls Premium or buy it online, please go to www.pearlspremium.com. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Zoe, for making the world a better place. You are truly living proof that green is good.
Very good. Thank you.